I am sitting out in my oh so messy garden today to prove a point. Let me show you. I got weeds. I've got dandelion wishes, which are welcome since this is Quirky Faith. I've got a broken box. I really should have bought quality the first time, but regardless, I got a broken box. And I have a secret, and that is that I let it go like this on purpose. It wasn't neglect. You could argue it was, but it was a decision. It was on purpose. And the reason I did so is because I read Jon Acuff's new book, Finish. And I'm a part of his launch team. It's such an honor and I'm excited, but I love this book, and it's Jon Acuff's fault that my garden looks the way it does. And it's because this summer I had some goals. I wanted to spend time with my kids. I helped run a charity golf tournament, the Scramble for the Kids. We had a record money raised this year to help foster kids and homeless kids and orphans in Rwanda. And I wanted to really work on Quirky Faith. And I didn't have time in my life to weed my garden. And I didn't have room in my budget to hire a gardener to take care of it. And so I made a conscious decision, because I read this book and it told me to decide what to be bad at, to ignore my garden. And let me tell you something that happened as a result. I still have tomatoes. I still have cherry tomatoes. I still have green beans and zucchinis. They grew just fine in the midst of a mess. Is this what I want my garden to look like? No, not really. Next year, maybe I'll have different goals and I'll figure out how to do gardening that looks pretty and Instagram worthy. But this year, what I wanted to do was more important than the pressures that I put on myself. And so I gave myself some grace to get some goals done. Now, that's the kind of fun things that are in Jon Acuff's new book. It's funny. I laughed out loud. He talks about kicking perfectionism to the curb, which spoke to my soul. And he also offered a fun chart this summer of Finish. And I have to be really honest with you again, because this chart you're supposed to color in a box for every day that you work on my goal. And my goal this year was to work ahead on Quirky Faith and get a bunch of things done. And I colored in all the boxes, not because I necessarily did work every day. I thought about it every day, and I gave myself credit. But I did so because Jon's advice was to get rid of the secret rules. And one of my secret rules is I'm really hard on myself. And I would never previously allow myself to color in a box if I didn't do something big on my goal. And what would happen is this kind of chart would become a reason to quit. And I would see the holes on there, I'd feel like a failure, and I would throw out the chart. So this year, I gave myself credit. If I thought about my goal, I colored in a box. Because you know what it did? In fact, you know what? I think I'm actually 2 days ahead. I even colored in boxes that I haven't done yet. But the reason is because this is fun for me. And when I see this chart, it makes me want to work on Quirky Faith. And the truth is that now that my charity golf tournament's done, and the money's in, and we finished that, and I've still got 2 weeks left and nothing on my schedule. I'm going to ignore the weeds in my garden. I'm going to buckle down and get some Quirky Faith stuff done. And the whole point of Jon's book is that you should set yourself up for success. Add fun, get rid of procrastination, get rid of your secret rules, and finish your goal. This book was encouraging to me. I loved it. It made me laugh. I'm going to give this copy away to one of the subscribers of Quirky Faith. So if you're not yet a subscriber, go to my website, click on the Quirky email, you can get in. I'm going to give this copy away. The book actually doesn't come out until September, so you can read it early and get in. Otherwise, buy this book. You'll do yourself some favors. Go ahead and finish.